Well, a pleasant good afternoon to you and you and you. I'm your host, Deanne, and this is the program Transforming Lives One at a Time. And we are broadcasting to you from beautiful and scenic Tobago in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. You must visit sometime. The program is being aired every Saturday at 5:30 in the PM, and you can also check out our Facebook page, YouTube channel, TikTok, and Instagram. Well, today we will be talking about the dynamics involved with transitioning into our high school system. How can students and even parents adapt to the changes and get themselves in the best position to achieve overall success? My guest today is Guidance Counselor Mr. Ashby Ferguson. Ashby Ferguson is a dedicated guidance counselor with over 10 years experience serving students across both the primary and secondary school levels. His passion for education and student development has positioned him as a trusted mentor, advocate, and support system for young people navigating academic, personal and social challenges. Mr. Ferguson holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and another in sociology. He is currently advancing his expertise through a master's degree in counseling psychology, equipping him with a deeper clinical knowledge and applied skills to better meet the diverse needs of students. Mr. Ferguson, welcome. First time on Transforming Lives One at a Time.
Yes, it's the first time, and I hope it's not the last.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
All right, thank you, and
yes,
thank you for having me this afternoon.
It's a pleasure having you. Well, Mr. Ferguson, let's firstly get from you as to what the roles and responsibilities of a guidance counselor in the school setting is. What are your core duties?
All right, so a very interesting question, I must say. All right, and before I begin, I must just give a little background on this. Now, when I did the interview to become a guidance counselor back in 2015, and I was accepted, all right, they told me that they were placing me in the primary school level. And I was like, primary school?
Okay.
Right? Why do children in primary school need counseling?
Wow.
Right? So it was really a shocker for me.
Yes.
But then when I went into the system, I realized that, wow, these children actually need more counseling than probably some of the adults that we have out here today.
Yeah.
All right? So the roles and functions of a guidance counselor. Now, persons would think that a guidance counselor is one who just sits in his office every day and deals with the social aspect, right, or the social issues that children face on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But that's not all to it. We actually go to the classrooms, all right? So we actually have a curriculum also, all right? Our curriculum deals with the social issues, academic issues, and the career issues that students face on a daily basis in the school system, all right? So we have the social issues such like bullying,
yes,
right, which you know is a phenomenon that is plaguing the secondary schools
Indeed.
and the primary schools on the island.
Indeed.
Right, so we have all of those social issues, you know, the good touch, the bad touch,
yes,
the friendships, all of those social issues we deal with. Right, so we are allotted time, or some of us are timetabled to go into the classroom just as a regular teacher,
okay,
right, and deliver these lessons to the students.
Right.
Right, we also deal with the academics. Now, we are privileged to see the grades that students get on a regular basis or on a termly basis. All right. If we are seeing that some students are dropping behind or some students are not maintaining a GPA, right, we could pull these students and find out, well, what is happening?
Okay.
Right? What systems can we put in place to help you get back up on a certain grade level?
Right.
Right. So we are also dealing with the academics. Some students who probably have clashes with classes, some students who probably aren't familiar, right, with the courses offered in upper school, right, we help students to understand those subjects. And it also links us back now to career. Now, some students aren't familiar with all the careers. Even I don't know all the careers in the world, right? Because now we have a lot of careers arising.
Yes.
Right? We have the YouTubers, we have influencers, right? So these are non-traditional careers.
Yes.
So it's always a job where you have to do a lot of research,
Okay.
right? So that you could keep yourself advanced to know what you can offer and tell your students about. So we help students with career choices. Some students may not know what they want to become in the near future.
True.
Right? Now we would look at your academics, the subjects that you are high performing in, and we would be able to tell students that if you are seeing that you are good in these subjects, these are some of the careers that are aligned with these subjects, right? And give them the choices. Because we have students in third form, we have subject selection.
Yeah.
That's where you select your subjects to do in fourth and fifth form,
Yes.
and in turn you will do those subjects for CSEC. And we still have students in third form who they don't know what they want to be as yet.
Third form.
At third form, right? So it's our responsibility now, right, to bring these students to our office and link their strengths to the different careers that they can get into.
Okay.
So in that case, they keep their minds open, right, and not have it cemented as yet that, you know what, because I like business doesn't mean that I have to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
All right. I could go into business administration.
Okay.
All right. I could go into accounting. All right. So that's what we do as guidance counselors. And there's much more that we do.
Wow.
Right. Because we take on other roles and responsibilities also. But under the curriculum, that's what we are faced with. The social issues, academic issues, and the career issues that students face on a daily basis.
Okay, well, I'm very happy for that clarity, yeah, because I remember even years ago, well, I don't want to say it's so many years, when I was attending Scarborough Secondary, I think the guidance counselor there was Mr. Cyril Collier.
Wow.
And I never even went into that office.
Okay.
I just cannot remember having any kind of interaction. We just know he's a guidance counselor, but we were always of the view that, okay, if you're probably having some problems at home or problems in the school, you would go and see the guidance counselor. So I am very, very elated that years later, I'm not saying how many years, that years later, we have you here that you could bring some form of clarity. Yes. And it's a broad area that, I mean, all the things that you just said, and you said that is just under the curriculum.
Yes.
So that is very, very impressive, because I think our children really need to get a clear picture as to where they are heading, what is ahead, and to be able to be guided so that they can be able to make the best possible decision. So hats off to our guidance counselors.
Yes, big us up, big us up.
Yes. Well, as our children transition from the primary to the secondary school setting, there are so many variabilities at play. Some students may be anxious as well as excited. Some may have a level of uncertainty as to what this new chapter of their life what will it bring, this whole new chapter. And of course, the parents having expectations, certain expectations, because, you know, when you leave primary school, most parents will now tell the children, well, you're going to big school now. I mean, you would hear it from preschool to primary, but when you leave primary is the real big school. This is where the action takes place. This is where CXC and everything that you have trained for from since and prepared for from since preschool and primary school now comes into focus. I want to find out the importance about understanding the new school system and what systems are in place to ensure that smooth transition.
All right. So at the secondary level, from the time you get into orientation is where the transitionary period begins. Right? Now, transitioning into secondary school, individuals may think that, you know, it's a really big thing. I'm moving from primary to secondary. There's not that much to it.
Really?
Right? Now, some things that I can say is that the subject areas are different.
Yeah.
It's where students have to become a little more independent.
Okay.
At the primary level, you basically have one teacher at each year level.
Yes.
So you know you have Miss Jones in standard 1. Miss Jones may move up with you from standard 1 to standard 5. That's how some primary schools do it.
Yes.
Or you may have Miss Jones, and Miss Jones is teaching English, mathematics, social studies, integrated science. At the secondary school level, you have a teacher for every subject, right? And that is one of the big adjustments for students.
Right.
Because what happens is that teaching styles versus learning styles.
Of course.
Now, you may have adjusted to Miss Jones in primary school level in standard 1, and she carried you up until standard 5.
Yes.
But now you may have a teacher who has a different teaching style, and she's teaching social studies. And then you have another teacher who has a different teaching style, who is teaching mathematics.
Right.
Right? So there's a level of adjustment that takes place there for students. All right? And then too, some students may come from village schools, as we would call it. Probably a population of 80, population of 50 in some cases. Right? And they come into a bigger schooling environment now.
Yes.
And now they may seem a bit intimidated. So sometimes in first form, you would have students who they're just in the class because they don't know how to deal with, being around so many other students, right? And students who are much bigger than them.
Of course.
Right? So you would have a lot of students who take a while, right, to transition from that primary school level to that secondary school level. So in first form, I like to tell my students that this is what we call a trial run. Now the trial run, definitely, right? The trial run is where you're able to make some mistakes, right? I just come into secondary school, I could make some mistakes, right? But after first form, as you hit second form, that's where you have the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Because I always tell students, from the time you enter secondary school, right, you have to have a clear-cut goal in mind. So I would always tell students that there's the big gate. Because in all secondary schools, we have a big gate. Of course,
a huge one.
There's a first time for entering that gate, and there's a last time for entering that gate. When you leave those gates for the last time, what are you leaving with?
Okay.
Right? So we have our safety officers, right, who take the students on a tour around the school to let them know about the different school departments, the different classes, where the canteen is. We carry them through to the academic dean, right, where she's able to explain the different subjects, the subject areas that they were doing from first to third form, right? Because after third form, in fourth form, that's another transitionary period.
Yes.
Right? And then also we like to say that fifth form is another transitionary period. And then we have sixth form.
Yes.
Right? Which is not like fifth form. All right? So we have different transitionary periods, but we're focusing on first form. So we have a lot of students who they don't adjust well.
Okay.
Right? Because you know what? Parents aren't allowing them to have that level of independence.
Okay. They're still thinking, this is my baby from
exactly.
primary school.
This is my baby
yes.
from primary school.
Of course.
Right? And students want that level of independence because they are seeing other students, who probably will travel into town.
Yes.
Right? But you know what? Mommy and daddy still coming and pick me up.
From the time school bell ring, the car is there.
The car is there. Right? So you would find that, students would come to the office and they would say, sir, I just want to go in town and buy a little chicken. Yeah. Now, based on the society that we are living in,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I could understand, why some parents are really cautious.
But you have to be,
You have to be cautious, right? But there must be some level of leniency also.
True. Like on a Friday afternoon.
A Friday afternoon.
Pass up the road, get a little sandwich, and take the car and come home, straight home.
But you have to know your child also.
Okay.
Right? If you know your child has that level of responsibility,
yes,
then that's the level of leniency that you could admit towards them. All right? So the transitionary period from primary into secondary, most students, they transition well after first form.
Okay.
When they get into second form is when they start to get settled a bit.
Yes.
All right? So that's why I call, the first year
of course.
A trial run.
Yes.
All right?
So they get into the game.
You get into the game. I come in secondary school.
Yes.
I go still run up and down. Because we have students who run up and down like they're in primary school. I remember one time we had some rain falling in one of the secondary schools, and this young man, I'm walking on the corridor, right? And there was a puddle of water, and this young man just ran and dived into the puddle of water. And I had the safety officer, that was the safety officer office, he had to run and get the young man. He said, young man, you okay? Right? And he was like, sir, I used to do this in primary school.
So you're missing that, and now you're adjusting to this new, so it's like you're between,
you're between primary and secondary school. What do I do in primary? What do I do in secondary?
Course.
All right?
Of course. Well, what does this new school system look like? What can students and parents expect as they get settled into the new normal? Apart from, yes, the new teachers and that kind, what can they really expect generally?
All right. So parents could expect a lot of, we have clubs at the secondary school level. All right. So we have the cadets.
Okay.
We have the tourism club. All right. Well, we have the football teams, the basketball teams, you know, in some cases, well, netball, tennis. We have all those different things that students could be a part of.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, some other things that parents can expect is being in group chats, right, with the form teachers.
Yes.
Because every class has a form teacher. And where I am from, or the school that I came from, Big Up Scarborough Secondary School, all right?
That's also my alma mater.
Nice to hear, right? Those form teachers, right, they love their classes.
Yeah.
So they would always communicate via these group chats.
Okay.
Right? So this is something that, this is a vessel where parents can voice their opinions also. Or their concerns about something that is happening in school.
Right.
For instance, if school has to over half day, right? Form teachers would grab up their phones, send message in the chat, send a message, hey, get your children, school is over in half day, we have an emergency.
Okay.
Right? And parents would come up. All right? Some other things that you can expect, or parents can expect in secondary schools, are a lot of field trips.
Really?
All right? Yes. So once you are in clubs, you will expect to be part of field trips. I know in our school, in Scarborough Secondary School, the tourism club, right, they always take part in whether it's competitions, whether they have to go to Trinidad, whether it is they have to go on island tours around the island, right? These are things that, you know, you can be part of, right? So it's building you as a responsible adult.
Right.
All right? For you to be responsible for certain departments or functions in your school. All right? Other things that shape secondary school students, we have prefects.
Okay, yes.
So this is something that we tend to look at from first form.
Okay.
All right?
So you monitor students.
You monitor students. So it's not to say that, you know what, you was misbehaving in the first form, you misbehaving in second form, but you know, third form, I pick up myself a little because I'm aiming to be a prefect.
Okay.
No, right? It has to be monitored from first form. You must be exemplary.
Yes.
All right? Because you now are responsible for some of the students in your school.
Okay.
Or in your class.
Right.
All right? So we have prefects also. We have head boys and we have head girls also.
Yes.
All right? So that is something that is also monitored also.
Okay.
All right? So these are some of the few things. And also PTA meetings.
Yes.
We want parents to be part of the PTA meetings.
Of course.
Right? This is where another avenue where you can voice your opinions, your concerns, and this is where you could also learn about what is offered, what is happening in the secondary school, and if you have an input, right, then, you know, it can be taken into consideration also. Of course,
and PTA is very, very important. I mean, I know it starts from the primary school level, but even in the with the high school level, where there are so many, it's such a vast area, and it's now taking students up to the CXC level.
Yes.
It is very, very important that parents really get on board with the PTA.
Yes.
But at this time, we're going to take our first short break, and we'll be right back. You're viewing Transforming Lives one at a time. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonaccord Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Do you need electrical and plumbing supplies from construction to finish? Then check out Voodoo's Enterprises Limited, Milford Road, Canaan, Tobago. Get LED bulbs and fixtures, septic tanks, water pumps, laminate flooring, press cut power tools, and so much more. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. Call 280-2050 or 660-4970. Voodoo's Enterprises Limited.
Hi, I am Deanne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good news. You can send your 90 seconds video to our WhatsApp number 868-701-2099. That's 868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news. Inspiring hope. Celebrating wins. Truly grateful.
Welcome back to the program. Today we are talking about making that transition from primary school to secondary school. My guest today, Mr. Ashby Ferguson, and he's a guidance counselor. Mr. Ferguson, there is a mindset that as a child enters first form, a new level of focus and commitment should be embraced, and rightly so. So as our children step into this new environment, what kind of support system can both students and parents expect?
All right. So some of the support systems that have been put in place by whether it's the school, all right, because every school is unique, right? Some schools will have some things or some programs that other schools don't have, all right, or by the division itself. Now, under my division of Education, Research and Technology, all right, we have what we call the Student Support Services, okay. All right. Under that unit, we have counselors, guidance counselors, we have social workers, we have psychologists, we have special education teachers. So all of these persons, they lend support to the school levels, whether it's primary school or whether it's the secondary school level.
Right.
All right. Now the guidance counselors are based at the schools. So we are based at the primary or the secondary schools. Okay. Right. The social workers also come in, right, to see students that they would see over a period of time. All right. They mostly deal with the social issues, and they are allowed to go into the homes, okay, right, to see or speak to the parents, right, so that they can, fix what needs to be fixed, right, on that level or that family level, right? We as guidance counselors, we aren't permitted to go into homes. Okay. All right. So we have the social workers. Then we have the psychologists, right? They now would come based on, if we do a requisition, right, for our referral, right, for them to come to our school to see certain students, right? Because as a guidance counselor, I'm not a psychologist. Right. Right? The psychologists, they come now to deal with those, if we have students who are autistic. Okay. Right? And we need to let everyone know that they are autistic, right? It's only a psychologist that can do that. Understood. Right? So we have, and then we have special education teachers, right? We have students who probably aren't coping well, right, with their academics,
Okay.
right, due to whatever they're experiencing, basically, right? So that's where the special education teachers come in, right, so that they could help students of that nature, right? On the school level, we have the safety officers that are there to help students, right? So whether a student gets cut, whether a student falls ill, or whatever the case is, the safety officer is there to lend the support. All right, and then we have the capable teachers, we have the capable principal, we have the capable MTS security guards, right? So I think it's a holistic thing where everyone comes together and lends that support based on the school that you're in.
So everybody have their part to play.
Yes, everyone has their part to play.
Because I'm hearing that comprehensive approach, and of course, all for the child's development. Definitely.
Right? And it's not even about having their part to play, because I wouldn't say that no one person has a part to play, right? It's more that if you see it needs to be done, then we do it. Right.
So it's not like, okay, you are MTS, but if I see there's a paper on the ground, I don't go to call the MTS. I take it up and put it in the bin.
Right? So if an MTS sees a student in the back of the school crying, she doesn't necessarily have to say, come, go to the guidance counselor. Right? It may end up to that for the guidance counselor to do the follow-up work. Right? But you can show some level of empathy.
Of course.
Right? Towards that child as a first responder.
Yes, definitely.
So that when that child comes to the guidance counselor, you could already say that, you know what, this child is experiencing some kind of trauma.
Right.
All right?
And I want your intervention. Wow. Well, that is so good, because even some time ago, I was talking to someone and I was saying that we need to be able to empathize more. We need to be a little more intentional as we deal with our fellow men. You know, you might be seeing someone going through something that's traumatic, and you might be able to give a little word of encouragement, or you may be able to point someone to the direction where they can get help. You may not be a psychologist, but at least I can give you a little encouragement and point you to someone that I know that would be better equipped to assist you in the area that you are lacking. You know, so we really need as a people, as a society, to start being more intentional about how we treat others.
And empathize more.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Because I think a big part of the problem that we are having today is because, you know, we don't empathize a lot.
Yes.
Right? You think that, you know, everything is just hard and fast.
Right.
Right? So even as teachers, sometimes, you know, you could bend it a little bit. You could bend the rules a little bit to facilitate some students, right? Now we have students, yes, you have to get to school for 8. But then we have some students that have responsibilities before they get to school. And then they're coming from a distance. Right? So I may be coming from Roxborough. I have to get sister ready. I have to get brother ready. I have to walk my brother to the preschool.
Before I
get the bus. All right? Sometimes I may reach the school late and I didn't get anything to eat. When I get to school now, classes may have already begun. All right? And, miss, can I eat in class? Some teachers may deny them. All right? But was that student really to be blamed? Right? A child eating in my class, once they have a valid reason, is okay with me. All right?
Or maybe you could give them a 2 minutes to just go and step on the outside.
Step on the outside and you'll get something to eat.
Of course.
Because you trying to teach a child
who is hungry.
That
child cannot hear anything you say.
It's a waste of time that child is even in that class.
True.
All right?
True.
So we need to empathize a little more with the students of today. Because I always tell persons, the students that we have today aren't the students that we had 20 years ago.
Correct, you are.
All right? Yeah. But that's another topic for another day.
Well, let's talk about that aspect of creating new friendships and bonds and how critical it is in choosing the kind of friends that these young people now interact with. Because, of course, as we are all aware, birds of a feather flock together. And then in the school setting, if I see you are liming around this trouble students, I label you as a trouble student before you even get to second form. So let's talk about that, creating that friendships.
No, this is a big topic for me. I'm very passionate about the friendships that students tend to create. And every year for orientation, I would always try to tell students that show me your friends, and I would tell you who you are. So I tell students within the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of secondary school, you would know in your class who are the troublemakers.
Correct.
All right?
Yeah.
You would know in your class the friends that your parents would not want you to be associated with.
Yes.
But you know what happens? They are still drawn to be friends with those persons. Because we as a society, we tend to promote bad behavior as the cool behavior. So I want to be with the persons that are cool. So you know what? If I hang in with he or I hang in with she, persons ain't gonna come around me.
Okay. Safety net?
Exactly. Safety net. Because if they come around me and I is she friend, she mouth hot.
Right.
She go cuss them for me.
Okay.
Or he's the bad boy in the class.
Yeah.
And I want to be associated with he. So nobody never violate me. Right? So this brings me to the point that parents have to be involved with their child's school life.
Yes.
Because parents sometimes, your child comes into school and then they start developing certain behaviors. And you're wondering, will my child not exposed to this?
In the school.
Where my child get this from? But then you don't know the friends that your child is associating him or herself with. Right? So that's why you need to play a part in the holistic development of your child when your child is attending secondary school.
Yes.
Right? I always tell children, now, form teachers know, right, would tend to place children in certain parts. So they seat the children.
Yes.
You to the front of the class, right? But 3 years ago, that never used to happen. So I used to tell students, look for the students that are sitting to the front of the class.
Yeah, yeah.
All right? If you are able to choose your own seats. And the students that are sitting to the front of the class, those are the students that you want to associate yourself with.
Focused.
Those are the focused students, right? And I always tell students also, nothing is wrong with befriending someone for the benefit of gaining knowledge.
Of course, of course.
When I was at university, we had to do a course called college algebra. It was a difficult course for me. The first couple sessions, I sat in class and I realized who was the intelligent person in the class. Right? And I befriended her.
Yes.
I told her that, you know, girl, I really not catching some of these algebra methods and stuff. And she sat with me, we worked through it, and for today we are still very good friends.
Wow.
All right? So nothing is wrong with befriending someone for academic knowledge.
Because you made that conscious decision that, listen, and it all comes back to determining what are my goals?
Exactly.
What do I want to achieve when I leave these big gates?
Big gates, right?
Yeah. So it's about choosing wisely, and friends are a very important part of that because your friends, as you know, the old people always say.
Yeah.
Our senior citizens, God bless them.
Yes.
Friends will carry you.
They'll bring you. But they don't bring you.
But they don't bring you back.
That is a very big thing.
That's
so
right.
Parents need to find out who their child's friends are.
Yes.
All right? And if you are seeing that your child, and you see, everything ties in now. So that when you realize that your child is developing certain behaviors, you come to the school and you find out, who are my child's friends?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you find out who are the child's friends, the form teacher would tell you that, you know what, he or she is liming
with this
one. And then you could find out, does that child exhibit certain types of behaviors?
Right. And then you see.
And then you could see where your child is developing those behavioral patterns from.
Of course.
And then you could have your child, right, know that, listen, you are going down a certain type of road, because of certain behaviors that you are developing from the friends that you are hanging with, and you try to bring them back on the straight and narrow path.
Yes, definitely. Well, Mr. Ferguson, I would like us to touch on building that emotional resilience in hard times, because as we know and was stated previously, our children, they have a lot of challenges, be it peer pressure, be it bullying, being drug use, being trying to keep and maintain their academic grades, not being distracted by bad company, and the list goes on. So how can they really build that emotional? I mean, I know you would work along with your parents, but how do they really get that kind of stamina too?
All right. No. I would like to say that experience is life's greatest teacher. Some students have to experience something first in order to learn from it.
Okay.
All right? However, right? And this is why there's moral ed in the school system also. This is why the division or even the ministry has seen it fit for us as counselors to go in along with moral ed teachers,
of course,
to preach more morality in the schools. So we teach children the value systems that is expected from them. We teach children the norms, right? So the norms and the values.
Yes.
So when you keep hearing these things, it's going to build a certain resilience inside of you, right? To adhere and conform to what is expected of you in the school society, or as an individual. Because I don't like to just focus on the school society.
Of course, because you're
life,
taking them out.
There's life outside of school.
Of course.
All right? So we try to help students. And some students, they come in with the proper morals and value systems and whatever the case is, right? So that's why we also try to develop peer counseling.
Okay.
Because sometimes they don't want to hear it from you as the adult.
Yes.
You don't live your life, so let me
keep me back.
Yeah, so let me experience this myself.
Yes.
But when they hear it from someone or one of their peers, they tend to try and conform a little more.
Yes.
Because you know what? If my peer could be telling me this, that means that, I'm really doing something wrong.
Of course.
All right? So it helps when you hear it from someone who is on the same level as you. Because if you think back in your primary years, and an adult is trying to tell you something.
Yes, like
you really don't want to hear what an adult's saying. You listen, okay, all right, you internalize it, okay, but you still go and do the same thing, right? Just as a mother telling a child, don't touch the fire.
Yeah. No, you have to touch it for yourself.
You have to touch it. So that's why I say that, experience is life's greatest teacher.
Yes.
So it's not until some students go through an experience of probably suspension.
Yeah.
They realize that, hey, I don't want to get suspended again.
Right.
Right.
I want us to talk about behaviors and early warning signs that a child may be in distress.
All right. So there are a number of things that you can look at. One of them, if time permits, I will touch more than one, but one of the big ones we tend to see is a drop in academic performance.
Okay.
All right. So you would have students, probably an A student, first form A student, second form A student, and then in third form you realize that this student dropped from an A to a C.
Wow.
So we tend to pick out those, whether it's the academic dean or whether it's the form teacher, whether it's a subject teacher or whether it's the guidance counselor. We tend to pick out those students to find out, well, what's happening? All right? What is happening? It probably may not be a one-off. You may not do it the first time that child gets a C. But when the child, gets another C, you realize that, no, something is wrong. And most of the times, 99.9% of the times, you get to realize that that child is dealing with some kind of social issue.
Okay.
Whether it's the death of a parent, right? Whether it's the divorce of mommy and daddy, right? And then
that is another serious
That is another serious thing, because it affects that child's academic life, it affects that child's social life.
Right.
Right? So sometimes as parents, we don't know. We think that the decisions that we're making the best decisions for ourselves, but we're not thinking about the children.
Of course.
So that's an early warning sign that a child is in distress and a child is crying out. All right? There are also things like what we call the cuss buds.
Okay.
All right? A child, she was always a well-reserved child. And then you realize that this child just gets loud and this child is angry. This child, doesn't socialize as much again. She's not playing on the football team again. She's not on the netball team again. And you see her hanging with all the young boys in the school and everything. And you see a drastic change in this child's social life. You realize that this child is crying out for help.
Of course.
This child is ducking classes, as they would say, not attending classes, not submitting assignments. This child is crying out for help. Right? So these are the things that we tend to look at, right? So that we could determine the best way forward in which we could help these children, right? Because children cry out for help.
Yes, of course.
And when the fact that they are crying out for help, just as a baby who is crying, is because they want the help.
Yes, they want the help. Well, at this time, we're going to take another short break. I tell you, the time is going too quickly. You need to put something on that timer. It's just going too quickly. We're going to take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Do you need electrical and plumbing supplies from construction to finish? Then check out Voodoo's Enterprises Limited, Milford Road, Canaan, Tobago. Get LED bulbs and fixtures, septic tanks, water pumps, laminate flooring, press cut power tools, and so much more. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. Call 280-2050 or 660-4970. Voodoo's Enterprises Limited.
Welcome back to the program. Just before the break, we were talking about, different situations as it relates to children and being able to point out when a child may be in distress. And I know in your line of work, you would have seen many students coming from broken homes and dealing with, so many heartbreaking stories. We have to be real.
Yes.
And we like to be real on this program. We have to say it as it is because we want to find solutions. So, as I usually say, we don't want to be sweeping things under the carpet. We want to lift up the carpet and we want to deal with what is there so that we can solve the problem. So I want to find out, as it relates to on the home front, what is the next course of action once it is suspected that there is something untoward that may be present in the home, and at what point will social workers or even the police become involved?
Okay, all right. So, as I mentioned before, all right, we as guidance counselors, we don't go into the homes. However, there are situations where we have suspected that there is a problem at the home level.
Okay.
All right, whether it is we suspect it, or whether it is, a student may have outrightly come and say that, sir, this is happening at home, all right? It's then our duty to do a referral form.
Okay.
Now, there's a referral process that we abide by in the Student Support Services unit, all right? Now, we'll do the referral form and it would go to the unit. So the unit is where the social workers are, the psychologists, special education teachers, right? And then there are supervisors there, and there's a director, right? Now, when the referral form goes there, it's going to go to the necessary department, all right? So it may go to the social workers.
Okay.
Based on the severity of the case, all right, we can contact the principal, all right, and have the principal informed about what is happening.
Okay.
Now, it's then that principal's duty to contact what we formerly had as the SIU, which is a unit under the police department, right? That was termed the School Intervention Unit.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
I recently heard that they banned it and now they are under community police again.
Yeah, I was really, really disheartened to hear that, because if it's one time that unit is needed, it's now.
Yeah.
It's not like in previous years. And when I heard the information, I was very, very disheartened. Why would you disband a unit so critical when there are so many things taking place in the school, bullying and drug use and persons coming with weapons? I am saying at this point, this is a time for you to put pump more resources into it.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking directly to the powers that be. SIU, I mean, it's critical. It is super critical. So I was very, very disheartened when I heard that has been disbanded. And I am hoping that the powers that be are listening to this program today and would definitely reconsider. We need help in our schools.
Yes.
We are in distress in our schools. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, so the SIU, would have been informed, and they promptly, because they are just focused
on the
school system. All right. Now, if you have to wait for community police, because I've seen it in the past, right? Sometimes I may the following day, all right. But I know when we would reach out to SIU, when it was SIU, within a few hours,
immediate
response,
right,
or immediate response, they will be there.
Immediate
response. All right. So we have the social workers who would go into the homes. All right. We have the psychologists who may go into the homes also. We have the SIU if there's a problem beyond our control.
Right.
Because we don't have arresting powers.
Of course.
We aren't placed there to be a detective.
Right.
All right. If we see that the needs or this case requires police intervention, right, then it is my duty, all right, to report the matter to the police department, and then inform my principal.
Of course.
All right. It could go either that way, or I could inform my principal, and she would inform the necessary police department.
Right.
However, I must follow up with my principal to see to it that the police department was informed.
Understood.
Because the law is very tricky.
Yes.
Now, if a student comes and she tells me something grievous that is happening at home, and I informed my principal, right, and my principal did not inform the police. However, weeks later, I did not follow up on it.
Right.
And that child decides to go to the police for herself, and the police asks, have you informed a trusted adult?
Yes.
And she said that, yes, I informed my guidance counselor. They could come for me.
Yes, you're in trouble.
Why wasn't this matter reported to the police department as soon as you learned of this information?
Of course. So it's a very serious matter that cannot be taken lightly.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yes. Well, I want to talk quickly as we begin to bring the curtains down on what we know bullying. We can't be naive. We have an issue with bullying. At the various schools, it will differ, but we have an issue. What course of action or what steps are to be taken by both student and parent when that child is being bullied? Is there a practical source of help in this difficult situation? And just after that, I am going to ask you to give us your closing comments.
Okay. All right. So bullying is a phenomenon that has been plaguing schools for decades. All right. Since I was in secondary school, we had bullies. All right. And everyone seems to always wonder what is the correct course of action. Right. Now we promote that once a child is being bullied, right, that child can report it to any trusted adult on the school compound.
Okay.
Right? So remember I spoke about a collaborative unit.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's the MTS, right? Whether it's the agricultural assistant, whether it's the teacher, any teacher, even if it's not your class teacher, your form teacher, the principal, the vice principal, the guidance counselor, any trusted adult on the school compound, you can report an issue to.
Okay.
Because some students may not feel comfortable going and tell a form teacher.
Yes.
Some students may not be comfortable, or the principal may probably be too busy.
Right.
And then we have in secondary schools, we have the dean of discipline.
Okay.
So if the dean of discipline isn't there day, should I not report my matter?
All right.
So you can report it to any trusted adult on the school compound.
Okay.
All right? That trusted adult now, if it's not the dean of discipline or the guidance counselor or probably the principal, should take that information and give it to the necessary department.
Okay.
That department now has to follow up on the situation at hand.
Right.
Now, we know in secondary schools, 800 plus students
Wow.
that you're dealing with on a daily basis. Information could be lost.
Correct.
And a child may feel neglected and think that nothing has been done about his or her case. All right? Because, principal probably busy, put the thing, the file get lost somewhere, whatever the case is. That child has a due responsibility of reporting the matter to their parents.
Okay, right.
Parents, right, can go to any police station and report that matter to the necessary department in the police station.
Okay, so before the parent goes to the police, isn't it right for that parent to come and have a conversation with the school, with the principal or the guidance counselor before they...
Right, so I'm happy that you brought that up, because in some cases, we don't know about what is taking place. And I always tell parents, let us know first.
Right.
So that we could deal with this, try and deal with the situation. But then if it's a case where, your child was bullied today, you go on home, you tell mommy go directly to the police, right? Did we really know about that? Right. Because if something happens to the back of the school, right, you did not come and say to us,
right,
we cannot know that you were being bullied.
Of course.
So let us know first, because half of the times, if a parent comes up to school and a parent, gets on in a irrational manner, right, we may not even know, why this parent is getting on like this. Right? So let us know first. And if you've seen that nothing has been done about the case or your child's case, right, then you could say that, okay, I'm going to take it past the school now.
Right.
All right. Let me go to the necessary department in the police station, right, so that my child could get help.
Of course. And that's why I asked, because many times, and we've seen the videos, I mean, sometimes you see parents come in and having fights with other students. And I'm like, there must be a system that a child is being bullied. They should be able to report it to the principal. The parents should be able to come in and have a conversation if the parents are displeased with what is happening with this in the school and they're not satisfied with the probably rate of progress. And then they would say, well, okay, let me go to the police station and make a report. So what I'm saying is that there is a way to do things.
Yes.
And we have to be, as responsible parents, as responsible adults, to know what is expected and to do things in the proper manner. Because you cannot just rush up to school. You didn't even finish dress properly. You just rush up to school and come in and threatening teachers and threatening the principal. And no. And you are doing all of this in front of your child. So my question is, what are you teaching your child? I told you this program is real, and I am going to say it as it is. We have got got to get it right, because we are setting the examples for our children, and then when they behave in these manner, you want to know, well,
why?
That is what you
Where they
have
learn it
been
from.
behaving like that, mommy and daddy and auntie. We've got to get it right. And I'm saying this in love, you know. I'm not saying it to attack anybody or to criticize anybody, you know, but I'm saying it because we want to see betterment.
Yes, and I just want to add that, you know, I told a parent once that no matter your level of frustration with the system, right, it should not warrant you coming to the school, right, and cursing the administration of the school. Firstly, that is not going to solve anything.
Yes.
Secondly, the staff members would no longer want to deal with you or your child in that matter.
Of course.
Because you know what they're going to say? That this child's parent is a bacchanal.
Yes.
So I don't want anything to do.
Or you run on Facebook
and you rant.
The teachers doesn't even know
and
you
we don't
run
even
on
know
Facebook.
about it, right? So no matter the level of frustration that you're at, right, it shouldn't warrant you coming up to school to blow things out of proportion.
Of course.
There's a reason why you are a parent.
That's right.
It's a serious role, right? And you need to act as you are a parent.
Of course.
Parenting is not coming up to school and boxing up the boy because the boy bully your daughter. All right? Yeah. Because then when you fight fire with fire and I see you box up my son on social media,
you know,
what are the other parents going to do?
Exactly.
And we know the society that we live in today.
Of course.
Right? So we don't want things to get out of hand.
Right.
Let's try to do the due process, follow the protocols.
Yes.
Right? And let's try to do our follow-ups.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Well, this transitioning from primary to secondary, I tell you, it took on a very wide, a very wide area, but I am so happy. Mr. Ferguson, as we begin to wrap up the program, I want to give you the opportunity to leave one thing that would resonate with our viewers, or maybe you want to touch on some area that we did not speak about.
All right. So I want to touch quickly on two things. All right. Support. All right. Support could determine if your child fails or if your child exceeds. All right. The parents, I always tell parents, the parents that attend PTA meetings, the parents that are involved in the life of the school and are always there to find out how is my child doing.
Yes.
These are the students that exceed. Because, you know, mommy has or daddy, I want to big up the men.
Yes, of course.
So let me say daddy.
Yes, daddy.
Because daddy has an active part being played in my school life.
Yes.
Keep reassuring your child that, hey, son, you are going to be successful.
Of course.
Not because your child got a C this term, you're going to bring down that child and say that, hey, you ain't going to make nothing and you ain't got this and you ain't got that.
Yeah.
Right? Keep reassuring your child.
Of course. Encourage it.
Encourage your child, right? That they are going to be successful. Right? That is one thing. Support, even in the school. Now the school is only as strong as the parents are strong as the school.
Yeah.
All right? If we don't get that support from the parents, then it's basically the teachers and the principal that's carrying the school.
Yes.
Right? And then we have teachers who are frustrated also, right? Because you know what? I have my family to deal with at home and I come in here to work to deal with 800 plus students who don't have any behavior. All right, so you need that support.
Yes.
One other thing I want to tell parents, because I'm very passionate about parenting.
I could see that.
Be your child's parent and not your child's friend.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right?
I've said that numerous times.
Exactly. And I think that I don't even want to go in much on that because I think it's self-explanatory.
Yes.
Be your child's parent.
Yes.
And not your child's friend.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've seen in many instances where parents are being called up to school and you are sitting in that meeting and you are wondering who is the parent
and who is the
and
child.
Who is the child.
Yes. Well, you don't know what's happening at home.
All right?
Yes.
So be your child's parent and not your child's friend.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Well, let me take the opportunity to thank Mr. Ashby Ferguson, Guidance Counselor, for giving us such vital information as our students transition from the primary to the secondary school experience. I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I know this will not be your first and last.
Yes, definitely.
I'll be calling you again.
Definitely.
Well, viewers, that's how we bring the curtains down on yet another program, Transforming Lives One at a Time. I am your host, Deanne, always happy to be in your space, in your company. All right. Remember, you could check us out on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. And guess what? We are celebrating 1 year, our very first anniversary of Transforming Lives One at a Time. So we are celebrating. All right. As usual, I leave you with the definition of transformation, which is an internal shift that brings us into alignment with our fullest potential. Hey, we've got this. See you next time. Hi, I am Deanne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and we are in a celebratory mode as we celebrate our first anniversary. Yes, 1 year of bringing to you programs that are relevant, inspiring, educational, uplifting, and informative. I would like to sincerely thank Almighty God and you, our treasured viewers, for your continuous love and support for the program. I look forward to many more programs as we continue on this journey of transforming lives one at a time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.